Arise, minions, and welcome back to our after show. Not after show. This is not the after show. That's coming up next. To our Patreon one-shots. This is our second of two today for our patrons. This is also Coriolis. As I said before, this is a companion-y kind of episode to the previous one. This is called Northern Crown Kerberos, as opposed to Ouroboros. Yeah, that's really it. If you guys like what we do here, you want to support the channel, you want to be part of these one-shots, you want to get the after shows, join us on Patreon, link for that down below. If you want to join the community and be a part of the conversation, join us in the Discord, link for that down below as well. And as always, in the bottom right-hand corner of the screen, you will see the corruption bar. That bar serves two purposes. One is when that bar fills, I get to do what the hell I want to these wonderful players. And two, we make money for the channel. We get to do cool shit like buy stuff and do things and go places. Well, that's great. And pay bills like internet and Adobe. That being said, let's get this ball rolling. Much like our last episode, you all bristle uncomfortably as a helmeted soldier slides a pair of high-tech glasses onto your face. Your crew sits beside you, and three others sit in another shuttle next to yours, but you've never seen them before. The glasses remove your sense of hearing and sight. A slight lurch and a sense of nausea indicate movement in the shuttle. The violent shake means the clamps have let go. You all are in freefall. The glasses on your face flash to life, two bright screens. Your eyes take a moment to adjust to the three-dimensional room as it unfolds before you, and a shadowed man sits against a wall of screens with a planetary horizon behind him. Voice garbled, he looks to you all and says, "Greetings. Your crew has been selected for a task of the utmost importance, and we appreciate your candor and discretion in this matter. An anomaly was detected at the Kerberos Research Facility. Your task is to eliminate and retrieve site data." End of message. And the screen goes black in red letters. End of message. End of message. End of message. Flash before you. All of you, the opacity of your glasses goes away. You are able to look about the cabin. You are in a white-on-white-on-white shuttle, belted in appropriately. Who is at the helm of this landing craft? Who makes for your pilot? Whether you have one or not, someone is in that seat. Who would it be?
I'd go for our data spider, to be honest. He's the more technical of the lot of us, so...
Okay.
I would then.
Okay. Is it Agincourt? Is that the how we're saying the name?
Agincourt.
Agincourt. Okay, so Agincourt, you are in the foremost seat, the only seat at the front. The two companions are behind you. You have the controls before you. However, there is no drive shaft. There is no steering column here. There is an array of keys in front of you. This seems to be a primarily autopilot craft as it is plummeting towards the surface of this planet. You look down and you can see that before you is a space station, Kerberos space station, scattered out across this this rock. It's not in a spiderweb formation. It's kind of like squid tentacles. It just sort of goes off in a bunch of random directions, right? You can see, in fact, roll me an observation check. Anyone can roll me an observation check. No bonuses here. Because we already hit the corruption bar. We don't need more bonuses than that. Like an audible sigh. So we have two successes, one success, and Snow, you have nothing. So Maruf, you see nothing. You are too taken aback by what is happening around you. Saeed, you look around and you can see you and Agincourt can see that there is this flowing squid-like base beneath you. But what you can see is there are several pods that, like, these hallways kind of splinter off that are smoldering, smoking. That the glass antechamber around them seems to be shattered, that oxygen has vented out. You can actually see desks and debris kind of floating in the air around these things, having been sort of vented out and are stuck in the low gravity. Agincourt, you look down, and at first it just looks like it's the debris, perhaps, that's just sort of floating around, but it kind of twinkles and sparkles, and like it's It's strange, and then you hear this tink, 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 tink on the outside of your shuttle. And all at once, with that second success on observation, you realize, just a second too late, that those little sparkling lights down there are not, in fact, floating bits of debris. It is gunfire. You are being fired upon. How do you respond? You have the controls.
Out of character, I actually have 0 pilot skill.
Yeah, I didn't expect you to have any. So,
You and me both, brother.
hope for the best there, buddy. Hope for the best.
Crew, we're being shot at.
Because you got 2 Michigans. You got 2 corruption bars just now.
Can you shoot back?
No, you're in a landing shuttle. So, you have the controls, Agincourt. How do you want to land this thing?
All right, so
Tink, tink, tink.
being shot at, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I guess I would want to land it in an area where I'm not getting shot at. Would be nice.
Okay. I mean, that makes plenty of sense to me, and that's what I would recommend, if I were in your shoes. So, because this is an automated system meant to fly on a specific trajectory, you can, in fact, this time hack with a data gen to take over manual controls of this thing. It's going to be a rocky landing no matter what, but feel free to make me a data gen attack with 0 bonuses and see what happens.
Instead of hacking where I'd have to manually controls, because I don't think any of us have pilot skill.
Nope.
Can I hack it to redirect where the autopilot's wanting to land?
Yes. Yeah. Go ahead and roll me that data gen.
Hit the button.
You will need 2 successes to... Ooh, you have 0. You have 0. You can pray to the icons. Just gives me a darkness point.
I don't know how many are from the last stream.
I have 3 because I get 1 per player.
I shall pray to the icons and roll again.
Yeah, you will. Let's start the game off the right way. 2 corruption bars.
That's
There it is. There it is. So not only are you able to hack the system and override it to manual control, you are able to further hack and override the existing flight path and redirect it to land for you somewhere else. Where would you like to land this thing?
What do I see?
You see a rocky, desolate terrain like the one behind me. There are several jutting rock outcroppings. You could probably land behind one of these things, but the safest place is also the furthest away from the base, meaning you would have to walk into wherever they're shooting at you.
What's a place that provides the most cover? Not like the safest, but something that give us most cover through.
Yeah.
That's what I'm looking for.
Okay, yeah, easy enough. You can find a massive like a tectonic rock outcropping, the plates kind of moved this way, and it's very Pride Rock from Lion King. You're able to kind of have it land behind that thing. Again, you guys have exosuits, whether you have the actual item or not. If you have the item in your inventory, you can have the bonuses for it. If not, this is just a flight suit. So you can don these once you land, and you'll be able to walk outside with the atmosphere. But you're able to get this thing in under the hail of small arms fire and land this thing besides Space Pride Rock. And as as you come in for a landing, the alarms and klaxons begin to meow, meow, meow. These shuttle pods are meant to land in shuttle pod bays and not just planet side. So it is a very hard landing for all of you, as there are no actual landing feet that descend from this thing. You just kind of come in hot and heavy, as it were. I would like everyone to give me a quick roll of, let's say force. I'll take force or dexterity to try to avoid being tossed around in your seats. Okay. I will say, Agincourt, since you are so deft and dexterous, you can use your crit to assist Saeed and help them stay where they are so that no one takes damage.
I would assist Saeed.
Okay. So yeah, the whatever it is, maybe the buckle mechanism sort of like snaps a little bit, Saeed, as they're coming in for a landing, and Agincourt's able to like kind of hold it down with enough force so you don't go kind of flying out of your seat as there is that landing, that hard and fast landing. You guys are on this rock. You have a mission to stop whatever is happening on that research facility. Clearly, they're aware of you, and they're clearly trying to stop you. How do you guys want to proceed from here?
Saeed would grab his weapons and get to the door, since we've been fired upon already, and start taking a sort of cover position.
Yeah.
Whilst everyone else gets up and ready.
Does this landing pod have sensors?
It has a handful of sensors. What are you looking for?
Like a small proximity scan?
It does, but it's very limited.
That's fine.
Yeah. So go ahead. You can go ahead and roll me a technology.
You mean Dadagen?
No, I meant technology.
Oh. Can I use Dadagen?
You can use Dadagen at a -1. So at the top of the thing,
doesn't pop me up modifiers when I hit it.
Yep, scroll all the way up at the top of your character sheet, and there should be a positive and a negative thing at the top of it, and just put -1. Put negative up to 1. There you go. Okay,
And fail.
so you are scanning through the systems, and the best you can tell is that on landing, the sensor probably got crushed. So you're getting a small ping, but it's only about a 10-foot radius around you. And there's nothing in a 10-foot radius around you.
Ah, bugger all.
Oh, we're British, are we?
Agincourt is a British word.
I didn't realize he was British. Okay, all right. Okay.
I'm not.
Okay.
Just saying it. I use British terms a lot.
Okay.
Sorry, Necro.
Doesn't affect me.
It's okay. I just butcher all of Aquinn's Swedish words, so, it's fine. So, Saeed, you are able to throw on your suit, and you kind of get a position by the door as everyone else is putting their suit on as well. Once you guys all have your suits, what is your plan? Get shot?
Yeah.
Okay.
Maruf will sit up and then pull out his recon probe.
Oh, okay. Okay. Now, do you have the drone or do you have the probe, the proximity sensor? Which one do you have?
The probe.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So with everyone kind of suited up, Maruf, you can toss that out of the shuttle and sort of get a better reading. Now, the proximity sensor or the proximity drone has 2 modes. It has an active mode and a passive mode. Which mode are you activating, and how do you plan on using this thing?
He will just throw it out in active mode just to get a sense of if there's anything close by the ship and if they can get out safely to a safe.
Yeah, so you kind of you open the airlock, you throw this thing out here, you look at the wrist comms, and you can see this thing like boop, 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 doing its little scan. And no, there is no one around the ship. You are free to get out, at least right here.
Yeah. He'll look at Saeed and gesture after you.
Yeah, he would start to move then, gun up towards the building to get cover against the building in that case.
Okay.
He's been given the all clear.
Okay. So, Saeed, as the first one out of the ship, you see again this giant Pride Rock looking, stalagmite. You're able to kind of get over the top of this thing, and you can see from where you are, you probably have a good 100-meter run towards this building. In relatively open, flat plains. However, from what you can see, you don't actually see anyone outside firing on you. It seems like whoever fired on you must have gone back in the building. There's no, search party coming for you.
He would shout back to the others that they may be on their way. We've only got a short period of time before they potentially start firing at us. We've got a lot of ground to cover. If we're going to do it, we need to go now.
I'm right behind you.
Okay.
You two take the lead, please. I'm not much of a combatant, you know that.
Gonna gun up and begin crossing the open ground.
Okay. Roll me a survival, Saeed. Okay, easy enough. You're able to, obviously you can navigate yourself there, that's super easy, but you're able to command back to the rest of your squad mates where they need to be to position themselves to remain constantly or as most consistently out of sight, and lower the chances of someone spotting them, firing on them. And after about 30 minutes or so of like slow bound and overwatch, you're able to get up to the outer, spire of this this Kerberos station. You see, again, now that you're up close, you see that there are several like blast doors that are just open. You see that there are several like these glass domes that are just shattered. You see, again, smoke is kind of coming out of them in a strange way. You see that there are several of the landing shuttle pods that are already there are like smoking or disabled in some kind of way. It seems as though some kind of force a foreign force attacked this place, is what you can guess with your kind of knowledge and background. That's what you would assume. This place is under siege.
Right, then he would get to one of the blast doors that are sitting open.
Mm-hmm.
Get to the side of the door, gun sort of looking into the building, and if it all still looks clear, he would gesture to get the rest of the crew at least up against the wall for protection.
Yeah. So you guys see the command to like get up against this wall. You see that Saeed is in the front. He's looking down hallways. Maruf and Agincourt, what are you guys doing?
I'm following Saeed's lead. I don't know much about the combat. I'm just an analyst.
That's fair.
Yeah, I'm just keeping an eye on our six, make sure no one's sneaking up behind us.
Okay. Yeah, there is no one sneaking up behind you. You can see, actually, Maruf, roll me an observation. Saeed as well. Actually, everyone, go ahead and roll me an observation. Yeah, successes all around. Snow failed. Okay. So, Snow, you are looking out. There is no one, as far as you can see, coming at you. Agincourt, you're kind of in the middle between these two, I assume, in the safest spot. You're kind of like looking at this building. And Saeed, as you're looking inside, you can both see movement in this facility. It's not large groups, but like each of you see what's probably a different soldier. And you see them in this black armor that seems to be like... It's very strange because it looks like it's metallic, like it has that kind of like glint in the light of like metal, except it seems to be like one full unit, which is not any kind of armor you've ever seen before. You've heard, actually, anyone who's trained in culture can roll me a culture if they have it. No one. Great. Oh, perfect. Agincourt, trained in culture, you have heard rumor that, like, the Zelosians have armor like this, but as far as you can tell from where you jumped from, like, from where this mission is, there was no... You got the mission in Coriolis, and you didn't jump through any of the gates. So, you couldn't be near Zalos. And the Zelosians don't really come out this far. They're usually keeping themselves. So it's strange to see an armor similar to that, but that's the only kind of thing you can think of relating to that armor. Saeed, you know that based on what you saw of the small arms fire that you were taking, that this place is probably crawling with soldiers, but it looks like they're spaced out pretty far. It doesn't seem to be that there are large groups of them. So you could slowly take down and keep moving, depending on how you want to run this. But you are leading the show right now, so how do you want to enter this facility?
He would look to the others. The goal is to get in, sort out what's going on. This place is technically crawling with people. we either go in guns blazing or we go in quiet. What's your preference?
Personally, I prefer to go quiet, but you look at that armor. I've never seen armor like that. It looks kind of like a Zelosian model, but I can't say.
Yeah. I think our best option is to find somewhere to set up the data baby and make him useful, because he's not much use apart from soaking up rounds right here.
The data baby.
Oh, that's just mean of you to say.
Data
So you're
baby.
saying we need to get to the central hub? We can do that.
Or if there's some sort of security office somewhere nearby.
All right.
Okay.
We're going
Okay.
to go in then.
So, Saeed, you kind of lead them in. You slide in through this open airlock that you're in here. It appears, because of the venting of certain pods, you can see that there are several blast doors that are closed. Perhaps that's emergency protocols. It doesn't seem to be bothering these soldiers that are walking around. You assume that their suits also have some kind of oxygen supply. It appears safer to stay in your suits, though, because you can't tell where there is and isn't oxygen just by the blast doors. But you're able to move in. Where are you heading? The core, or are you heading towards a security office of some kind?
So you said it was a central core with bits that come out.
Yeah. Yep. Think of it like a squid.
Yeah, he would be going into. I'm assuming we're in one of the legs of the squid.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you are in the leg. Yep.
We'd make it. I'd probably assume that the security office would be towards the end of one of those, with the central hub being where everything else is.
Yeah.
So he would head away from the core to start with.
Okay.
And look for that security office.
Okay. So you begin to head down the corridors, and are you approaching this as quiet as possible? Okay. I would like you to make me an infiltration check to see if you can lead your team quietly through these catacombs.
1 success.
1 success. Okay. It's slow going. They're obviously not as trained as you are, perhaps, but you're able to lead the way down there. And make your way through. You don't encounter any of these soldiers. You think there's a moment where you might, but it's just a strange noise, and you see a shadow from a floating piece of debris. And you're able to make your way down to a small, like a satellite security hub. And you see that it's like a small storeroom, probably 10 by 12. That's a handful of computers in here, a storage locker with normal, like there's like a Vulcan pistol that's the only weapon they have, a buzz baton, and that's about it. There are a handful of computers that Agincourt could make himself useful on, but you are able to get in here and close the door and lock it for what that's worth. You are safe for the moment. What are you guys doing?
As we get into the room, he would turn to Agincourt and go on, data baby. You're up.
Not have to be so bossy about it. I'm going to go at the terminals and then pull out my personal computer and my security tablet, and I'm going to get to work.
Okay. So what are you trying to do here as you try to hack into this computer?
Maybe get some cameras, try to get into the central system, just kind of see what I can get.
Okay. Roll me a data gen with a +1.
Have the modifier here.
Let's see what happens. Okay, 1 success. Cool. So you're able to plug in your computer and start to run your system diagnostics through here. You're able to get into the mainframe. Wasn't even that hard. You get in here, and you can see that there are entire hallways that are shut down for emergency purposes because of the explosions that happened in here. You can get a handful of cameras, and on them you can see that there are... you see these same kind of soldiers kind of walking around. You can get cameras all the way up to the main core, but not in that main central hub.
All right. I'm gonna put them on screen.
Okay, so you have these. There's four screens that he kind of throws up here, and you can see they kind of blink between the different cameras that he's able to get control of, and you can see it kind of confirms what you thought, Saeed, that there are individual groups of these soldiers kind of wandering about, patrolling this place.
How big are the groups? How many members per squad?
Just one.
One person on their own.
Yep. There's one person, and then there's like down another corridor. There's another person. Like if you were to take every leg of this space squid, there's maybe 5 people per leg. And they seem to be like they patrol from here to here, and the next one is like here to here, and the next one is like here to here. Right? They have like their 10-meter zone.
We can get to the call. We can get through them.
Can I roll an observation to like study their pattern to see if there's a way to like where we can make a route where we could just bypass them all altogether?
Yeah, roll me observation. We can find out. With a limited success, you know that it's possible that you could like go down a hallway, duck into a room, let him pass, come out. It's a matter of you would have to do that several times per hallway to like get through to the core. And you also realize that the way these patrols are set up is that if you engage with one of them, the other ones will be able to join in.
The others from within that leg, or
The other ones from within
from
that leg.
the other legs?
Nope, just this leg. I mean, you would assume, given that information, Said, that if the combat went on long enough and they were not dispatched quickly, they could call for reinforcements from the other legs. But at a minimum, starting one fight in one of the legs will at least bring the next person down.
On the cameras, can we see what blew up the walls and made the big holes in?
Yeah. Roll me an observation. No. So you're looking at this thing, and it's hard to tell with the amount of like the fractal scarring on the inside of these chambers, and there's obvious combustion blast damage that's inside them. It looks like maybe grenades were thrown inside places. Outside of these foreign bodies, these soldiers, it's hard to tell what might have caused what.
I think Maroof is checking out all the gear in the office as well.
Yeah.
Just to see if there's anything that's useful. Also keeping an eye out to see if there's maybe a set of the armor there, so we can have a look and learn a bit more about it.
Yeah. Roll me an observation. No, you're having a bad day. So you're able to move around this room. You see like basic things like a coffee thermos, a coffee cup. You find that there's several lockers in here. The lockers are containing like regular work clothes, like a jumpsuit, right? Someone's personal clothes. There's just like personal affectations around here. There is no armor. There is not even like a rack where armor would be.
Do we leave the data baby here and get him to guide us through?
I could do that. They have access to most of the cameras, not all though.
Once we engage, we're engaging. That will bring that entire column at us.
Yeah. But then we don't have to worry about protecting his ass.
That's true.
Well, that's mean. If you two want to go on without me, go ahead. I can hold tight to you. I'll just lock the door.
Yeah, lock the door and give us a call if you need changing.
Wow. Okay.
You guys make me wonder why I work with you.
It's the money.
Yeah, it's definitely the money.
Okay. So it sounds like the plan is to leave Agincourt to to his own devices here inside this security room, while you two go have a good time. Okay, so the camera follows Saeed and Maroof outside of the door. Where are you two going?
I think we're aiming for the core.
Yeah.
Okay. How are you getting there?
Stealthily, hopefully. But not based on the current rolls I'm doing.
Stealthily, hopefully, is, that's the good one.
Question for you, Mike.
Yeah, go for it.
So you said some of the walls were blown out.
Yeah.
Is there sort of a blowout where we are, and then further down a way we can get in, so
Sure.
we can avoid a big chunk of the passageway?
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
are the walls made out of glass?
Not all of them, but some of them are. Some of them are made of like that thick glass, right? You could get outside of this like hall, this wing of the research facility, and make your way towards the core outside. There are windows spaced out. Like imagine like a hallway, right? But the hallways are all round domes. And the dome part is all glass, so you can always kind of see the outside. So every once in a while, you'll be able to be spotted by these things as you patrol outside. But there are plenty of places where you can go outside and kind of come back in. It's just a matter of finding ones. You might have to go outside of this one and then go inside a different leg and move forward that way.
Mike, since I've been left to my own devices, can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Is there like a terminal in here that I could use to say how many security doors are around this place?
Yeah, with the success before, there are like security rooms like the one you're in, or like blast doors.
Like, how many of like these doors can I access from the security room and shut? And maybe like lock out reinforcements and stuff like that.
There are, there's probably like 100 different doors. You're fairly certain you can access most of them. Some of them are damaged, and you can see a handful. You can see like maybe 10 of them are reporting as damaged on your screen. You can see like another 10 that are reporting as non-responsive. But the majority of them you should have access to open and close with an additional roll.
I'm gonna open up my communicator. Hello, calling in. Which route are you two taking?
You tell us.
Well, where are you headed?
The core.
Well, you should have told me that when you left.
I'm sure it was in the mission briefing.
They never tell us anything. All right. Well, stand by. I'm gonna have some fun with these doors. So I'm gonna start locking all like non-essential side doors on their basically like, oh, if they have a corridor that may branch off somewhere, there's a soldier, I'm gonna lock that corridor between them and just make sure they have a good path to the core.
Okay. Yeah, so you're doing your best to track them and open doors accordingly. Roll me a data gen. One success. Okay. Yeah, so you're able to plot a course that you think is the best one, and you're able to open and close doors along that way. So you can kind of do your best to block out other soldiers and kind of relay this this path to Saeed and Maroof. Saeed and Maroof, you will know that this path is the easiest, the least resistance. It doesn't mean you won't be spotted. Agincourt can do his best to block people off, but once you're spotted, that information is going to go wide, and everyone's going to come from every direction, at least in your experience.
If we end up halfway down this passage, we're going to get attacked from two sides. Where we are now, we have everyone from one direction. So we have a choice.
I'm all for safe. I'd rather be shooting in one direction than two.
All right, we can move down the passage, take up defensive positions, and start shooting.
That's good.
Let's do it.
So you're going to take up defensive positions and just let guys funnel into you until they die?
Well, no, we're trying to get to the cores without being seen.
Mm-hmm.
Fingers crossed. And then if we get seen, just fill them with lots of holes.
Okay. So Agincourt, you hear this comms going back and forth. The plan you laid forth is not intentionally being followed here. However, you can do your best to recalibrate on the fly. They seem to be going straight down the hallway that they're in currently, because as they said, bad guys from one direction is easier to fight than bad guys from multiple directions. You are able to open and close the doors on this hallway for them as needed. However, I would like Saeed and Maruf to roll me infiltration checks, please. Quiet as church mice. The two of you are able to maneuver your way down this hallway and in between rooms, hiding behind crates and boxes, quickly jumping outside of the hallway, back inside to pass these guards around. And with deft speed, Agincourt, you're able to follow them, open and close doors quickly, and get them forward down this hallway. Agincourt, roll me a observation, please. Critical success. Fantastic. You see, you kind of have this, you're in your zone, right? You have the keys are going, you have your computer, you have whatever the security systems are going, you have screens switching between different cameras, you're watching both your allies and other people, and you're trying your best to get access to the central hub. However, not quite happening for you yet. What you do see out of the corner of your eye as you're switching between screens is that your allies are in hallway K. It's called Wing K. You see that in Wing F, which is 2 over. The lettering doesn't make sense, but that's what it is. 2 over, you see a door open and close that you didn't open and close. You see that there is no soldier in all black there. What you do see is the ass end of a child dart into a room. And the door closes behind him.
I'm gonna hail them.
Mm-hmm.
Saeed, Maruf, based on the cameras here, I'm picking up some quite abnormal activity. I'm not sure exactly what I just saw, but you got 2 wings over. There's some doors moving that I'm not touching, and saw what looked like a child running through one of them.
Can you get eyes in the room?
I'll see. Working on it. Is there a camera I can access in that area? Like
roll me data gen. You could pray to the icons.
Sure.
All right.
I think I'm going to be running in darkness points anyway.
Yeah, roll again. There you go. You find that room. You kind of locate this thing. You get the camera that is directly outside of that room. You can see into the room. However, the room itself is dark. What you can make out from here is that there appear to be objects pushed in front of the door. The objects, judging by the height of them, seem like they would be too difficult for one child to push in front of the door by themselves. Perhaps there are more people inside that room.
I'm going to pass this information along.
Mm-hmm.
I got one of the cameras in the external. It's a bit dark, but based on what I'm seeing here, it looks like we might have survivors from whatever may have hit this station. More to follow. I'll see what I can dig up.
Okay. Saeed and Maruf, you are now aware that 2 wings over from you to the left, around this like circular kind of thing, there may be survivors. What are you guys doing?
we getting paid for survivors?
Your mission was to eliminate the anomaly. That's it.
Saeed would look back. It's not in the job description.
Yep. It seems like a distraction. Maybe Agincourt's watching too much porn.
Are you saying that in open comms?
Yeah, absolutely.
Your mission to
Hey,
clarify.
what I do on my off time is none of your business.
To clarify, your mission is to eliminate the anomaly and retrieve site data.
I haven't seen any anomalies. You haven't seen any anomalies in that room yet, have you?
Nothing ridiculously anomalous, but it's just strange.
Do we know anything about this station?
You don't. You
So
don't.
we don't know if there should be innocent children running around on the station.
You would, judging by the size of this, and you would know this, that it's a colony station. So people live here. It's not like you go to work and then you come home. So it would make sense that people would have their whole family here if they live and work here. So it wouldn't be uncommon. You don't know that about this specific place, but you've seen places of this relative size. And that's kind of how massive research facilities work, is that they're colony stations.
So kids are not an anomaly.
Kids are not an anomaly. Correct. So you don't have to
Right.
shoot any kids today. Today. Be clear.
I think we keep moving towards the core.
Yeah, if they're not shooting at us and they're not the objective, I don't care.
Okay. Fan-freaking-tastic. So the two of you continue moving towards the core. And I, because I'm a jerk, I'm going to spend a darkness point. Thanks, Agincourt, for giving me that darkness point there.
Here we go.
As you
Hey,
are...
I know a donor gave you 2 at the start of this.
Oh, those aren't darkness points. Those are something else entirely. Those are to do whatever I want buttons. As you are watching your allies, kind of keeping an eye on this this door with the kids in it, or kid in it, you follow your allies as they move down the hallway. And you're kind of opening and closing doors. And as you open the door to let them pass into the next one, the camera that you're looking at quickly switches to the other angle, and as that door opens, you see that there is a guard or one of these soldiers walking around a T intersection right as that door is beginning to open. There is no way you can hack that door closed fast enough that they're not going to see them, and they don't see this guy coming. What do you do?
I issue a warning.
Okay. What does that sound like?
Heads up, guys. You got a door opening. You got coming around the corner. I can't shut the door on him in time. Be careful.
The two of you get this call. You have a second to react before that guy turns that corner.
Find cover.
Gun would be up
Yeah.
and taking an overwatch position.
Okay. You get into Overwatch. Maroof, roll me a infiltration to see if you can... Are you hiding in cover, or are you just taking cover?
Hiding if possible, but if not possible, just cover.
Roll me an observation. Roll me an infiltration to see if you can actually hide behind cover. Perfect. Yeah, you do. You slip behind. Perhaps there's like an overturned something, a piece of like desk that had blown into this hallway, and you kind of sink below that. You see that Saeed is like up against a wall in a doorway, weapon at the ready, trained on the corner, waiting for this person to walk through the door. And he does. He turns the corner as the door finishes opening up, and he marks you immediately, Saeed. And you see him just slowly like reach down, and out of like the side of his hip, a weapon forms. Like it's like the metal moves around it, and he just like unclips this pistol and raises it up towards you. Roll me dexterity to see who goes first. Actually, both you and Maroof can roll me dexterity to see who goes first.
Not me.
Not you. Okay. This soldier, this man, he fires a shot at you with a, let's see here, ranged 3. he misses. This weapon kind of demagnetizes from its leg. It pulls up. It fires. Spins past you. Hits the wall. That like ping sound as it skins across the wall kind of happens. Maruf, you know that he doesn't see you, but he is engaged on Saeed. Agincourt, you are in the security office and you can see this happening. As soon as that fire, that shot rings loose, you see that the person that is behind where they've already passed is moving towards where you guys are.
I'm gonna work to lock that guy out.
Okay, you can roll me a data gen.
Nope, they've got someone coming up behind them.
Okay, so you are quickly typing away the keys. You see the door begin to close, and on the camera you see him break out into a full sprint, clang, 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 as he's running through this door, and then the door closes right behind him as he makes it through. Maruf, what are you doing?
I'm going to try to shoot this fucker.
Okay, so you pop up out of cover to try to shoot this guy. I'll give you a +1. Oh, well, you didn't need it. So, if you want, roll me a d6 just real quick to see in case you might have had a third success. Should be /R or R/ whatever the hell it is /RD6.
No.
No go? Okay. So, 2 successes. What weapon are you using?
The Vulcan carbine.
The Vulcan carbine. Okay, cool. I believe that has a crit of 2. So you shoot him once. You can spend that second success for an increase of +1 damage, giving that 4 damage instead of the normal 3, if you're so inclined. And you pop out of cover. Pew! You fire on this guy. Does he have armor? He sure does. Let's see how much of that hits. All of it hits because I'm running. Apparently, this game I rolled like trash. So you fire a shot into this guy's like midsection. You see him kind of reel back, and that second of like him stumbling back gives Saeed his shot. Saeed, what are you doing?
Saeed is going to fire his shot with his Vulcan carbine as well.
Okay, go for it.
I do have an advanced scope, so
Okay.
+1.
Yep.
If this will accept the 1. No, it's not going to be to the plus, but it'll do.
1 success. Okay, so another 3 damage. You fire into this guy. Let's see if he blocks any of yours with his armor. He does. He blocks 2 points of damage. You see the bullet sort of concussively hit, and you see the metal that it hits into like reorganize around the shot. It still hits him, and you see the stumble kind of follow through, but the round actually tinks to the ground as the armor kind of refolds over where it was shot, and you can actually see it refolding over where Maruf shot it as well. In fact, roll me an observation, Saeed, and I'll take one from Agincourt as well.
Saeed will also shout over the comms to Agincourt, lock this place down, lock every door.
Okay.
Limit the numbers.
Do my best.
Okay. Saeed, you see that the bullet hole that Maruf shot in this thing, you can see into the armor of this thing. There's no blood. You see it for a half second that there's no wound there, and then it like the armor closes up around it. Slightly strange, but real hard to deal with when someone's shooting at you. Which this guy does. He fires a shot at you. He fires a shot at you with his Vulcan carbine. Do you have any armor on, Saeed?
I do. I have heavy armor.
Okay. He's coming at you with 4 damage. So roll your 66.
What's the method for doing this so that it shows up in order?
It would be.
Doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. Yeah, just roll /R D6. It'll come up anyway. Or 66, whatever it is. Okay, so you block 1. So of the 4 damage, you only take 3 of it as this Vulcan carbine fires into your past your armor and into your abdomen. You are taken aback a bit. as you can hear from behind you, choo, choo, as another shot rings out. Unfortunately, Maruf is paying attention to the one firing on you and did not see the one coming up behind. Maruf, do you have armor on? You are muted.
Sorry, just the exo shot.
So that is, I believe, 2 armor?
2 armor.
Yeah.
Yep.
So roll me 2d6s and see if you can block this damage that's coming at you. Okay, so you block 1. The first thing, you hear it first, because that's how shock works. You hear that of a hole in your exosuit, and then all of a sudden that stinging, biting pain of a round ripping into you as you take 2 points of damage, having your suit having stemmed the flow of 1 of those points of damage, but you are down 2 hit points. Agincourt, all you can do is watch as bullets tear into your friends with the shouted command of lock this place down. What are you doing?
I'm gonna do exactly that. Lock this place down. Is there a... I'm assuming I have to make a roll, but is there just a big red button I can find that's basically full lockdown?
I will tell you this. At the cost of no roll, you can hit the big red button. However, you know that the big red button has klaxons, has lights, and puts the base into full lockdown security mode, so that everyone knows the base is in full lockdown security mode. However, if you'd like to hack and attempt to do this manually, you can do that.
I was told lock it down. I hit the button.
Okay, so you quickly hit the button. Doors slam close. These gears kind of lock into place, locking these blast doors closed. You see the one in front of you, Saeed, the one that this guy passed through just now. Hits. You see behind you a good 10 meters. That one closes. And as soon as they close in front of you, basically trapping the two of you in with these two combatants, you hear... Emergency override. Emergency override. Lockdown. 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 Wham, 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 wham. And these red lights start spinning in the hallways. They descend from what's left of the sides of walls, wherever there are sides of walls, as these lights sort of erupt into the room and wham, 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 like an ambulance. And you see them popping up all throughout the base. Agincourt, on your myriad of cameras, you see reactions from most of the soldiers trying to figure out what is happening. You see that several of them are moving back towards the core. Saeed, Maruf, you are in a room trapped right now with 2 combatants. One has taken a few rounds, the other one has not. You really have no way of telling how damaged they may or may not be. What are you guys doing?
This went south fast. Is there any fallback position? I'm guessing not, because we're locked in here, aren't we?
Yeah, you are now locked in here.
I guess we've got to aim for... I'm going to take another shot, but this time aim for something vital. Like the head.
Okay, so you can take an aimed shot. An aimed shot is a full action and gives you a +1 to your attack roll. Are you attacking the one you already attacked or the one that attacked you?
The one I've already attacked.
Okay, so get a +1 to your ranged combat and give me that roll. 1 success. Let me see if I can block any of your 3 points of damage here. No, I cannot. So you fire. Are you using the carbine also, the Vulcan carbine?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you get this rifle up. You fire it into the chest of this guy again. You see it kind of explode inward, and again the metal begins to move around it. But you both see the metal is moving around the hole as this thing is falling to the ground. You see it hit the ground, and what's left of the smoking bullet hole, sparks are just coming out of this thing. It appears to be down, as far as you can tell. However, there is still one behind you. Saeed, you see this thing go down. What are you doing?
Would Saeed have heard the round that shot Maruf?
Yeah, it wasn't like a silence thing, so you definitely heard a shot ring out from behind you.
He would then spin around and fire his Vulcan carbine.
Yeah.
With automatic fire.
Oh. I believe that just means you fire forever. I forget how that works exactly.
So -2 on the first roll. And
yeah.
then D6 until I get a 1.
Yeah. Okay. So go for it.
So -2 on the first roll.
Automatic fire. Until you get a 1, right?
Yeah, it says regardless of whether your initial roll is successful or not, you can choose to keep rolling dice one at a time. These extra dice are added to your first roll. However, as soon as you roll a 1, your clip is empty and you must reload.
Okay. So regardless of the first roll, apparently.
Yeah.
Wait, did you roll a 1 in there?
You
You did roll
three
several
ones on
ones. I see. That's some of the rules are vague. I'm going to say, regardless of the first roll, you can continue firing. So this one doesn't count, and you can keep firing until your next one.
All right.
Um,
And I think it's only 6s count.
yeah. Yep. So you can literally just keep rolling a 6 until you roll a 1.
That's 1 6.
Okay. 1 success.
There's
1
another
success. 1 success.
Another one.
There we go. God damn.
It's a lot of rounds.
Yeah. Another
Oh.
success.
If he drops, then he would stop firing. There's 1.
There you go. So that is 4 successes. That is 12 points of damage. I have 3 armor. All of them fail. This thing has exactly 12 hit points as you spin around. Like, I imagine this cool. Like, you see the guy go down, you spin, drop to one knee, flick the switch to fully auto, and you just bop, 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 and this thing's doosh, doosh, doosh. Bullets are kind of flying, ricocheting off the walls, hitting the blast door behind it. Doosh, doosh. You see it's responding to, like, the armor can't respond fast enough to stop the flow of bullets coming into it. And you sink 4 rifle rounds into the chest of this thing, and as it as it hits the ground, you hear click, 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 click of you being out of ammunition in your carbine. Wow. That took a turn. That took a sharp turn. The klaxons still go. And as far as Agincourt, as you can see, the majority of the soldiers have moved back towards the core. What are you guys doing?
Can we, Agincourt, can you set up a distraction on the opposite end of the facility? Get them looking the other way.
Not sure if I can from here, but I'll check the systems again.
Overload
Or-
something? Cause something to blow up?
Aren't we supposed to retrieve data first, then blow it up?
No, they're like
Well-
one of the far sides, one of the other security terminals. If you've got access to them from there.
While I'm talking with them, I'm looking at see if I can fulfill their requests at all.
Yeah, sure. Roll me technology. Do you have technology?
No, I have
Okay.
science and data gen.
Roll me data gen at a -1.
I also have a security tablet. which
Security
removes-
tablet reduces
But that's
the...
for technology.
Yeah, that's for technology, and it helps you like get past security doors and shit like that. This is to see if there's anything you can explode. Technology would be better because you'd actually know what the tech is and how it could explode. Okay. Yeah, you find that there is a in each of these like spires, right? At each of these wings, there is a central, basically an electronics cabinet, right? You could overload the electronics cabinet, and that would kind of explode. It's like the transformers outside of people's houses, right? You could make that explode. Whether that would distract them enough, you're not entirely sure. Whether they give a shit, you're not entirely sure. There's clearly explosions that happened all over this place that don't seem to affect them. But that's the only thing that you can do from where you are with the tools at hand.
All right. So, idea. How much? I'm gonna roll see if I can turn off the alarms first.
Yeah. Go ahead and roll me a data check for that as well. You can do that at the +1 because you're using your computer.
Oh, I already rolled. Here, can I do it again?
Just roll a d6. So type in the chat /r space d6. Okay.
Nope.
No, so you kind of go in there, and whatever it is, the security protocol cannot be overridden outside manual override. So once it's input, it has to be manually overridden. So this is going to happen for some time.
Fuck.
The issue is, and this is, I'm gonna call. I could, but the issue is with these alarms, I doubt they'd hear it.
Right. Database is useless. It's up to us.
You want me to go ahead with it anyway, or?
Can't hurt.
Can you open doors as well?
Should be able to try.
Yeah. Roll me a data gene to see if you can regain control of the doors. You can regain control of the doors. So at a minimum, you can open and close doors for Saeed and Maruf right now.
I'm gonna reopen their path.
Yep. The door opens in front of you guys. Where are you headed? Actually, Agincourt, did you tell them that that a lot of the troops are headed towards the core?
I think I would have, yes, but I didn't actually physically say it.
Okay. So then, in that case, you guys are aware that they are headed towards the core.
Do we take the outside route?
We can do. Saeed would also want to check the bodies. Are there any explosives on them? Any sort of breach charges? I'm assuming that the core hasn't been blown up.
That's a good assumption.
I'm thinking of a way to get in.
Yeah.
On the outside.
Roll me technology. Do you have technology?
Do not.
No. Do either of you have technology? No. Roll me force.
Nope.
No. Maruf, if you would like, you can roll force as well. No. So
Can I give you a darkness point?
You could.
Why not?
Okay, why not? Indeed. Success. So you go to look over this soldier. The armor on this is unlike anything you've ever seen. It appears to be like completely made of metal. The metal, it's not like armor that you've ever seen before. It like folds over itself and adapts and moves in ways that you've never seen. It's like the armor is active in defense of this person. To the point where like you can't just take off the helmet or like take off the glove. It's all one unit. So you have to like pull. So you're like reaching into like the unfinished bullet hole wound that was like starting to repair itself, and you're like ripping chunks of the armor off of this thing because it's the only way to get it off. But you're able to like pull armor away down to where you saw the gun be projected out of. And you can see that around the waist and hip area where the weapon was formed, you can see that there is a large cutout or a bump out of the armor. And as you peel back that portion, you see that there is a concussion grenade inside of it.
He would definitely take that.
You would assume there would be one in the other one as well, but you would have to force your way into that as well.
He would look to Maruf. We need to get the other one. I don't think one's going to break a hole through the walls. Not at the core.
On it, maybe. Or not.
Nope. You can give me a darkness point.
Yeah. Hell, why not?
Why not, indeed. There you go. Boom. Easy enough. This one actually was riddled full of bullets, so it's a lot easier to actually like rip down this thing, and you are able to find yourself a concussion grenade as well. They deal 6 blast power, or the blast power is 6, which is a pretty decent range. They deal 1 damage, and they have a crit of 2. Here, I'll put that in chat for you. Okay, so you guys are armed with 2 concussion grenades and your normal amount of weapons that you had before. Saeed, do you have an extra magazine?
He didn't specifically add one to the character sheet. But,
Okay. Well then, in that case, you can. I will say you can take the magazine out of the Vulcan carbine that is in the hand of the corpse in front of you, because without one, you can't fire a weapon. So you're able to kind of grab that, reload your carbine, and you're good to go for a while at least. Where are you guys headed?
Is there a path outside that's, or are we going straight for the core?
There's plenty of paths outside to the core. What you know from Agincourt is that a lot of the soldiers are moving to the core.
We need to draw them away from the core. Do you want me to do that?
I mean, you do know there is a potential room full of survivors.
if this,
Yeah.
I mean, if they can even help us.
Oh, I mean,
Yeah,
they could
it
be.
provides adapt and overcome.
They could be a
Let's-
distraction.
Let's go back to them, see if they can give us any information on these robots.
They may know
Mhm.
another way to get the information we need from the core. They may know tunnels underneath,
Yep,
under the ground.
time to get our people skills on.
Okay. Obviously, Agincourt, you can hear this over the comms. Saeed, since you've been leading the show, how do you plan on getting over there? Are you guys hopping outside and traversing the overland route, or are you making your way through these hallways?
I imagine that the only way to get across is to the center,
Mhm.
across and back out.
Correct.
And that's where all the bad guys went.
That would be true. That's accurate.
So I think the best course of action is to go outside and
Great.
walk across
Yeah.
and hopefully not die.
Yeah. See, I just have to present you with the avenues. You decide which one's the best one. Obviously, I would like you to go to the one where you get shot a bunch, and then I win. So, the two of you, are you applying stealth to this, or are you just like, fuck it, at this point, they know we're here.
I think Saeed would go over the comms to Agincourt. So, what's it like outside? Where are the hostiles? Can we make it 2 arms across, or what is it looking like?
Agincourt, roll me an observation. As far as you can tell, they have a clearer shot of running outside. You have no cameras outside. All the cameras are inward facing, but you don't see, from what you can see, like through the glass windows of the different angles of cameras, you don't actually see anyone outside.
And I run a situational awareness +2 observation just to make sure there's no possible ambush.
That situational awareness is your group talent. You can use that, but it uses up the group talent for the rest of the episode.
Oh, then never mind.
Okay, that's entirely up to you. It's only good for this one episode, so, and we're about halfway through.
I think I'm going to leave it for the other 2. They're
Okay.
the ones fighting.
Okay, fair enough. So yeah, that's the information you have. There doesn't appear to be anyone outside.
Right. Let's head out.
Cool. We're doing stealth, or are we just running?
I'm all about stealth.
All right, let's sneak.
Okay,
Let's do it.
the two of you roll me infiltration checks. Oof. All right. Do you want to re-roll, Necro?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. All right. Go ahead and re-roll that, buddy. Oof.
Oh, no.
No go. No go.
Free darkness point.
eight darkness points right now. So you guys are able to exit the hallway and move outside. It's easy enough. the gravity is slightly different outside, but it's not difficult to traverse, especially in your exosuits, and you're able to kind of bound your way across, avoiding debris, avoiding like exploded pieces of this place, and you're able to make your way over to Wing F. And sort of climb your way back into here. You can tell this place. It looks like this place saw some fighting. There are definitely like scoring marks of like a concussion grenade or two. You can definitely see like there's like a bullet that like ripped across a wall that kind of like dragged along the wall kind of thing. You can see bullet holes in the glass. There was a firefight in this area. But you're here now, and you kind of don't know where you're going to find this room that Agincourt had seen. So, Agincourt, are you directing your friends to where they're supposed to be going?
To the best of my ability.
Okay. As long as you're doing that, you've been keeping an eye on that place, I assume, so you can kind of easily navigate them to that. Saeed Maroof, when you get to that place, you can see the same thing he saw, that this door is closed, and that through the glass window, you can see that there is like large objects in front of the door, as if it is perhaps barricaded from the inside. They do look like they are too big to be put there by a child.
Just knock on the window.
Okay. So you rat-a-tat-tat on the window, and you hear nothing. I would like one, if not both of you, to roll me a manipulation check. Man, Maroof, you rat-tat-tat on the window, and there's a brief pause. And then you see, like, a piece of wood or something sort of slide, and you see, like, just this much of a face kind of poke out. And they see you. It closes back up, and then you can hear the movement of objects away from the door. And the door is opened just a crack. Like, you can tell there's still, like, stuff behind it. And you see a grown woman just standing there. Are you here to save us? Did they send a rescue team?
Yeah, definitely. That's what we're here for.
Well, with that one success, you succeed. Oh my god! Oh my god! And she like pulls the door, and you can come help. And you see several more adults pulling parts of the whatever the barricade is away to open the door enough so that you two can kind of get in. And as soon as Saeed is in the door, it gets slammed and boxes are piled back up and tables are moved around it. Oh my god. And you see that there is like 10 adults and there's like 5 children sort of like doing their best to play quietly, right? And be entertained so they're not making noises. Oh my god, how did you get here? Did our distress call make it out finally? Is there more of you? How many are there?
There are more of us, but you don't need to worry about them. We need to find a way out of here.
Well, yeah, we'll get us on your ship and we'll just leave.
First, we need to neutralize the threat. Can you tell us what's happened?
Neutralize the threat? They killed the entire research facility. We're all that's left. They came out of nowhere. I didn't even see a ship land. There was nothing. There was just an attack. We're a research facility. We're not made for this kind of thing.
What are you researching here?
For the first time you see her like stutter, it's a research facility.
If we're going to get you out of here safely, we need to know everything. So you need to tell us what you were researching and whether it's related to the threat.
She like looks back to the rest of the survivor group, and you can see that there's kind of like that like confirming glance of like I don't know, I guess, right? That kind of like goes around. We're this is KBS 001, the Kerberos station. We're researching portal builder tech. It's all very top secret. I can't tell you I can't tell you much more than that.
What were you testing immediately before the incursion?
We weren't testing anything. We were mining the central pillar, the center of the. It's a mining facility.
Did these things come up from the mine?
Not as far as we could tell. They just sort of came from everywhere, like all at once.
We're going to need to. We're going to need to destroy the facility to kill those things, and we're going to need your help to do it. We're open to recommendations on the best way to do that.
Oh yeah, no, get us into your ship and just orbital bombardment. That'd be great. I don't. Yeah.
We need to make sure it's done from the site.
Oh.
If they've come from below, we need to destroy everything. Orbital bombardment won't do that.
I mean, we have blasting charges and we have all of the mining equipment, but it's all at the core. That's where the mining facility is.
How do we get there without walking down the corridor?
Is anyone on your team a child?
We've got a data baby, but I don't think he counts.
I heard that. You just hear it popping over your comms.
There's under a lot of the floorboards there's conduit cables. That's where we have all of our electrical cables run. It's probably only like a foot, maybe a foot and a half wide. There's no way an adult could fit in there, but and she like looks like a little disappointed in herself. Like the kids have been able to climb in them.
I'm comfortable with giving kids grenades.
Faith, you're looking at you. It sounds like a good plan.
Yeah.
I'm not. They're
They're
children.
easy to use. They just pull the pin and throw it.
But they're
Kids
kids.
throw all the time.
Kids throw.
It's
all
like a
the
game
time.
of toss.
Exactly.
Wow.
They'll be fine.
But they'll be in danger. That's like.
We can provide a distraction.
There has to be a better way.
There's
One
I've
or
got them-
one or both of
I've
you
got
can
the
roll me a
messenger's
manipulation
talent.
check.
I've got the messenger's talent, so I can convince her to agree with us without rolling.
Oh, what does the messenger's talent do?
It basically allows me to convince someone to go with my idea as long as it's not unreasonable.
Not unreasonable. Okay. Let's see. How unreasonable is this? You can make someone obey you through careful word and actions without having manipulation. Can be used on both NPCs and PCs. Your wish must be reasonable. You cannot, for example, force an NPC to act completely against their own interests. I mean, their interests are survival. Okay. I'll buy this. This icon talent. I'll buy this. Which is great because that gives me another darkness point. Good. Any icon talents give me that. Love that. Okay. So what do you say? What's the final nail in the coffin?
He basically says it's just this one small thing, and then we get the hell off this rock.
Okay. I mean, if there's
I was
no
doing
other
this
way.
stuff when I was a kid all the time. Look how old I am now. I lived a long, maybe not healthy, but a long life.
Okay, well, I mean, we can get them therapy after, as long as they're alive, and therapy is better than being dead. So, okay, we'll explain it to them. It's and she like kind of like looks you both up and down. It's probably better coming from us. And she kind of goes back to the group. And like you can see the adults are like talking, and like there's a few like glances over the shoulder at you guys, and like this is crazy. Like you can hear like the dissension in the ranks. And finally they kind of come to a begrudging agreement. And you see several of them kind of walk over and like squat down next to the kids. And like, okay, well, we gotta. It's just like a game of toss. Kids toss all the time, right? As they are explaining that they need to crawl through the ducts and throw grenades into a giant mining shaft. So that'll be fine. That'll be great. In the meantime, Agincourt, you're aware of this plan. What are you doing as you're hanging out in the security system?
Sitting back and letting them handle it. I haven't been asked to do anything. And I'm may or may not be against this plan. It's just kind of it's their plan.
Yeah. I like that. So what I'm going to do with that information is I'm going to spend 3 darkness points, and the door opens. And in the opening of the door, you see one of these soldiers.
I invoke Third Eye.
Oh.
I invoke Third Eye.
What is this?
You have the ability to sense an ambush, and once per session, you can avoid the effects of being surprised.
Where is this from?
It also gives me a constant +2 to observation when trying to detect a sneak attack or an ambush.
Is this a?
It's a talent.
Is this one of your? How did you get this talent?
It's one of the talents you can get when you create a net spider.
Is it really for a data spider?
It's one of the talents you can get.
Holy shit! I play data spiders all the time.
Says Mike, who plays a data spider.
I don't. It is. Huh. I play a data spider, and I did not know that. Yep. Faction standing, judge of character, and Third Eye. Okay, so let's see. Third Eye. What does this do? What does it do exactly? Just so I know. You have the ability to sense an ambush. Once per session, you can avoid the effects of being surprised. The talent gives you a constant +2 to observation when trying to... Okay, so what happens is I spend these darkness points, and like Peter Parker, seconds before that door opens, you just happen to glance up, and you see the camera rotate around on one of the screens to a camera outside the door, and you see a soldier at the door about to hit the button to open it. You can react before it gets there, avoiding this ambush. You can hide, you can set up your own ambush, you can do something. How does that...
They overload the system so the button breaks.
Yeah, roll me a data gen with the +1. See what happens. As we wait with bated breath. You can pray to the icons.
I'm praying to the icons. That's dang sure.
I mean, you can't spend all these documents.
Oh! 2 failures.
Those are the worst. Those are the worst when you pray and get nothing. Okay. Do you hide in any way?
I do have an infiltration skill, so I will try to hide.
Okay. You try to hack your way out of this. Unfortunately, you're not able to override the door. However, are you able to hide? Let's find out. You are able to hide. You have a pretty solid infiltration score, actually. You are able to hide. You can jump inside one of the lockers and sort of hide behind the personal effects and clothing that was in there as you hear the ksk of the door open, and you hear the clank, clank, clank of these boots across the floor. This you can see through the grated like slats in the locker that this thing is like looking around. It can clearly sense that someone has been in here, and you see it like move over to the keyboard. Excuse me. You see it move over to the keyboard, and you see it like typing certain things, and then you see it like hit like what you assume to be like an enter key, and you see all of the terminals that you had open, like pew 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 pew, begin to close down. This thing has locked out the system in some way. Not that you can't reopen it, but you have lost visuals on your allies.
Observe what he's typed in.
Yeah, I mean you can just see that it's just shutdown commands. You can get access to this again. It won't be that hard. You just lost it and have to regain it. You see him like do all this thing, and then it like takes a quick sweep of the room again, and then you see it head back towards the door, and then it closes and clank, 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 and you hear it like slowly walking away. Without your control in the system, you see the doors are opening again. The doors are opening again, and this thing is able to move through the doors. I'm going to spend another darkness point because it's fun. And you all hear the wow, 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 and you see the red lights recede back into the wall. The all hands has been called off. Agincourt, you are hiding in a locker. What do you want to do about that?
Step out.
Okay. Don't worry, no one saw that. Just you. There's no evidence that you hid in a locker.
No one saw that.
No. Is there anything you want to do before we switch back to the hostages? I mean, the
Hostages.
survivors?
Guys, I called them up.
Mm-hmm.
Guys, I've been locked out.
Oh, and I was about to congratulate you on shutting down the alarms.
That was not me. They came into the security room and locked me out. Managed to hide just in time.
Are they looking for a job? I guess we could use a good data slider.
Wow.
You know what? I'm never working with you again after this.
You say that every mission.
I'm taking my computer and going home.
I probably don't mean it this time either. It pays too well.
Can you get back in?
Yeah, I can do that. Well, hopefully.
Okay. So as the keys begin to across the thing, you can roll me a data spider or a data gin, and we will transition the camera back over to Saeed and Maroof. What are you two doing?
I imagine it's like the scene in Guardians of the Galaxy where I'm trying to explain to a child how a grenade works.
Yeah.
And they're not getting it.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm comfortable with that.
And then you press this button. I am Groot. I am Groot. I am Groot. No, that's the one that blows everyone up. That's exactly how it goes. Saeed, what are you doing in this scenario?
Whilst the grenade instructions are happening, Saeed would be talking to the adults. We also need to recover data. Other than the core, can we gain the data from any of the security terminals? That is part of what we have to do.
The backup drives are they're stored in wing A, which is to the left of wing F. I don't know if that was hit as hard as anyone else, or what remains of that. But if there's anything to recover, you could recover it from there. You'll need this though, and she like reaches inside of her lab coat and pulls out a security badge. This'll get you past at least levels 1 through 4 of security. The level 5 clearance. None of us have access to that.
The people in Wing A, or did people in Wing A have access to that?
I would assume so. I know there were a few scientists in the core that also had access to that. Most of us didn't need to have access to classified level 5 material. We just classified it as level 5 and sent it up to corporate.
And you said blast charges were only at the core.
Yeah, all of the mining equipment is there.
Saeed would look to Maruf. Can you get the kid to bring us back some blast charges? Once he's thrown the grenades, I mean, if he makes it back.
I thought the plan was to throw the grenades at the blast charges, but
We only need one. We need to get the backup drives. The backup drives are 2 wings over. I mean, Agincourt's got a lot of running to do once we're done to join us. But
I don't know much about kids, but I don't like our chances. I'm struggling to show them how to throw a grenade.
well, if he just doesn't have to throw it far, as
All
long
right.
as it blows everything else up.
So get in without being seen, get a charge, drop the grenade, and get out.
That's
I can't see how this could fail.
Well, getting the charge is optional, as long as he blows everything else up. If he doesn't make it, oh well. No loss to me.
Okay. I'll try to convince the kid to bring us back to charge.
Wow. Okay. So your plan, just so I know I'm following here, is to give a child 2 grenades, sneak to the core, throw the grenades at explosives, and hope for the best. Is that the plan?
I think so.
Okay.
That is the plan.
What could possibly go wrong?
I might maybe just give them 1 grenade, so we've got the backup with us just in case.
Okay. Yeah. 1. Yeah. Yeah. That makes sense. Okay. Awesome. I could not have made this up. Okay. Roll me empathy, Maruf, since you're the instructor here. Okay. So you just pick any kid at random. They all seem to be equally inept. They all seem to equally fit into holes in the floor. As you have felt sufficient enough-ish in your grenade training. I mean, realistically, it's only pull, pin, and throw, right? So it can't be that hard. You pick a kid at random, perhaps an eeny, meeny, miny, mo. You hand them a grenade and express that they need to make their way to the core, throw it at the explosives, which I'm sure they know exactly what they look like, and to get out of there. And if they can, possibly steal a blasting charge. And this terrified child slides into the floor and begins to pull themselves along the conduit towards the core of this station. The adults...
Before they
go ahead.
go in, can I give them some sort of comm device so that they can keep in touch with the data baby? I mean, he speaks baby, so...
Do you have a spare comm device?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, you can give them your comm device and slide that off and hand it to them. They are at least vaguely aware of how to use those, having grown up on a station. And again, they kind of buckle that thing in, they grab the grenade, and they begin to pull themselves along the conduit piping underneath the space station here towards the core that is swarming with adaptive metal shield-wearing soldiers to blow up the mining facility. Just want to let that sink in for everybody.
We could probably use distraction now too, Agincourt.
Say that again?
We could probably use that distraction now.
Oh, yeah.
Oh boy, distractions.
It's true. The klaxons have turned off.
Am I back in the system with my roll of a
Yep,
1?
you succeeded on Datagen, so you have control of the system again. You have your cameras back, the doors are back, and you need to make another Datagen to blow that electronics cabinet.
Well, first I'm going to set a dedicated screen for the camera outside my door.
Yep, good call.
And I'm going to see some overlets. All right, so I'm going to chart where they are and throw maybe something in the opposite direction, maybe two things in the opposite direction.
Okay. So where they are is two things left from you. So two things in the opposite direction would be you. It's you, two things them, two things the data cabinet that they need to get to.
Well, it looks like my support ends here, so I'm going to do this, and I'm going to come run to you guys.
Okay. Okay. So, with two successes, you are able to aptly plant a virus that will overload the electronics cabinet in this wing of this facility. And you kind of set this to go, you hit enter, you close down out of the server, and you start booking it towards these guys. Are you moving stealthily at all, or are you just trying to get there as quickly as possible?
I'm going to try to move stealthily.
Okay.
But if I feel like I'm seen, I'm just going to book it.
Okay. All right. I mean, you're moving as quiet as you can. This isn't your expertise. You're kind of going. You know that they took the overland route, so you kind of jump outside one of these tunnels or one of these hallways, and you start sprinting your way over there towards them. It's maybe 5 or so minutes before you hear this explosion happen from behind you, and you know that the electronics cabinet that you had hacked into exploded. And you are running your way over there. You guys inside, you hear this in the opposite direction, the direction you came from, the direction where the data baby was. As you hear this explosion, you're like, oh, well, there's my distraction. Another 5 or so minutes passes, and you hear on the door outside. As far as you know, the soldiers don't knock. How do the two of you respond?
Yep. Open the door.
You see Agincourt, sweaty.
I've seen it before.
Hello.
I'm not impressed.
Saeed would look to him. Aren't you supposed to be on the computers?
Those kind of exploded. You wanted a distraction. And it was either blow up there, here, or the data cabinet we need.
Will you follow?
We're going to need you at the data cabinet.
I do not know if I was followed or not. I assume not.
That's true. You do assume not.
Not.
I'm going to assume you were.
I'm going to go ahead and spend a darkness point here. Because why shouldn't I? I had 5 left. As you're having this discussion about what needs to happen, you hear another one. It does not sound like it would have come from the mining facility. That explosion should have been a lot bigger. It does sound strikingly similar to an electronics cabinet. As whatever virus Agincourt put into it passed along to the next one in sequence. And exploded. Hopefully, it stops at that one.
Do I know that?
It sounds a lot like it. It doesn't seem like what happened was not intentional on your part.
Your direction's not supposed to be next to us.
Yep. I think it's time to get out of here and get that.
I agree with that statement.
What about these 4 children and 10 adults that you got over here? What are you doing with them?
Data baby can look after them, bring them out when we're ready to go.
But you need him at the data cabinet.
I'll give them enough a grenade and tell them to protect themselves.
You give them 1 grenade.
Saeed would turn to them. Do any of you guys know how to fly a ship?
Yeah. One of the gentlemen in the group says, "Yeah, I've flown a handful of times. I mean, mostly surface stuff, but."
Saeed would mumble under his breath. Oh, that's unfortunate. You guys need to wait here then. We'll come back for you.
Come back for us what? In what?
We need to get the data. Then we'll come back and get you. And then we'll go back to the ship.
Oh, yeah, that's fine. And you see one person just holding the grenade, like, why don't I do this? Is it? Do you have a? Is there like a? Should we have a gun?
All you'll need is the grenade. If you need to use it, that's all you'll need.
Okay. Okay, I understand. And I know I didn't want to eavesdrop, but it's just pull the and then throw.
Yeah, pull, throw, duck.
Okay. Okay, got it. And they're like cradling it, like a baby. The three of you are able to exit. Where are you going?
For the backup drives?
Okay. You're making your way over there to Agincourt. You're in the field now, buddy. So the three of you, are you stealthily or are you just going for this?
I think we go with stealth since we've set up the distraction. Hopefully
Yeah.
that will...
I will give everyone a +1 to an infiltration roll. So go ahead and roll infiltration +1.
Going to follow their lead, try to be as quiet as possible, see if I can keep this big comms 4 communicator quiet.
Apparently, you guys are fucking ninjas. So that's how that happens. You are the quietest people in the world. In fact, you bypassed all the things I had planned and you get to the data cabinet, because why wouldn't you roll all of the crits on the fucking stealth roll? Okay. So you guys get to the data cabinet. You hear another in the sequence of electronic cabinets exploding. It seems as though whatever virus Agincourt put in is sequentially hitting these cabinets, and they're all exploding, causing more distraction, but also more devastation. You have
You
made
might
it.
be on a timer.
Maybe. You have made it to the data storage closets. What are you doing?
My computer and immediately tapping in.
Okay.
Said would set up bit of an overwatch position.
Yeah.
Facing towards, like, getting into some cover.
Yep.
Facing towards the core in case anyone comes running up that hallway.
Agincourt, roll me a data gen +1. Saeed, roll me a survival. And Maruf, what are you doing?
I have a hyper rope, so I am going to string that across the corridor if I can.
Yeah, you have like 100 meters of hyperrope. That the hyperrope item is fucking enormous. So you can make as many tripwires as you possibly want. Roll me a survival to see how many and or how well they are made. Okay, yeah, you're able to get like a dozen in either direction, and they seem to be fairly well made. As long as they don't float over the top of them, you should be fine. Which they don't seem to float. Same thing, Saeed. You're able to find Overwatch. You find a good cover spot that covers, at least the majority of you, and still has full range of motion on your weapon. And Agincourt, you slide up a stool, you jack into the server room, and you're going, you're typing, you're downloading things. This process is fairly automated. You can just hit download and just export as much data as you possibly can store on your terminal, which is not a lot. However,
I'm going to export to my laptop and I'm going to duplicate it and put it on my tablet.
Okay.
As well.
That's interesting. Is there a specific set of data you're looking for? Or you're just dumping as much as you can?
What data did they want for the mission again, guys?
They didn't specify. They just said site data.
That was above my pay grade. Anything with the highest clearance.
Go with the most recent data back.
Right, starting from most recent, going back, highest clearance. Okay.
Okay.
So I'm going to start going I'm basically taking it all, but I'm going to start going with like most recent and like what is considered like the most clearance, maybe highest classified, and just start taking everything.
So you're
just going down the line.
You're just dumping files, starting with most recent, as much as you can. And you're kind of sitting there scrolling through, click, 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 click. The keys are kind of going. There's a defensive perimeter being made. And Agincourt, you're watching the screen as data and data and data streams down to your computer and passes to your tablet. You can see, because you weren't in the conversation, this is in fact a mining facility, and they were truthful in that they are mining, or they are researching portal builder technologies. However, it appears as though 2 months ago, when whatever this anomaly happened, which is right about the time that you guys got the call, to take this mission. The data from that day was not encrypted yet at a clearance level 5 because they died and didn't have a chance to. So you can actually see several of the files that are going through, and you can see as they kind of go. And what triggers your mind is you see that there is a massive file that is just taking a long time to transfer. And as you're kind of like transferring files around that, you see that this is a video file that is being transferred, a large video file. It will take some time. You can also watch it.
Before I do that, I would like to isolate this network from my potential virus that's going around.
Your virus is attacking the electrical cabinets, not the data cabinets. So, there is an electrical cabinet in this wing. There's one in every single wing. And when it explodes, it will shut down the power in this room. So you are on a time limit here. But the explosion is small enough that it won't actually damage you guys where you are. The cabinets are not the same ones. You wouldn't want an electrical charge in your server room. So you are safe, and your information is safe. It just you'll lose power eventually.
Okay, so video.
Okay. So you begin to watch the video. Do you alert Maruf and Saeed of this, or do you just let them stay on with their Overwatch?
I'll tell Maruf because Saeed is very clearly setting up a perimeter.
Yeah. So Maruf, you get a little heads up that there's some kind of video going on here of their research. Are you interested in that?
Yeah, I'll take a look.
Okay. So the two of you kind of, Maruf, you stand over the shoulders of Agincourt. As Agincourt, you're kind of hitting buttons, and you hit enter, and the video sort of takes the full screen, and you see that there is multiple angle drone footage going down into a massive, massive hole in the ground. You would assume, judging from your flight down, that the dome in the center, the core, the whole thing is the hole. There's very little room for there to be, like, a catwalk around the outside. You see them, down into this thing, and they're deep in whatever this planet is. And you can see that layers and layers down, it seems as though something happened here, and there is a buried set of Portal Builder ruins. And they are excavating Portal Builder ruins and using their excavated artifacts to research some kind of technology. What you see is them passing layers and layers and layers of this, what looks like maybe a city, perhaps, and they finally get down to a strange, room. It looks perfectly cubed, as far as what you can see. A big chunk of it is still in the earth, and you see that it is like gold. It looks like it's solid gold. And you can see that, the entire thing is, etched with all kinds of, words, pictographs. It's hard to tell what it is. You don't recognize the language. If you've ever been real close to a portal, it looks kind of like that. And these tracings and designs and pictographs all glow this, gentle orange. And you can see that there are drones down here that are working on the center of one of the walls of this cube, and there is a circle in the center of it with a bunch of different offshoots that have a bunch of different symbols in it, and these drones seem to be manipulating whatever this is. If you had to guess, this is a safe, is what you would assume. This safe looks like it would be a treasure trove of Portal Builder artifacts, the likes that no one has ever seen before. However, right before the video cuts out, you see the final sequence get input, and then all of the lights sort of blink orange, and the wall begins to slowly open, and just this strange dark mist begins to pool out of this thing as the door opens, and then you see that wall just sort of fade away. And the last thing you see is this black mist sort of pouring out of this, and two giant red eyes in this thing, and then all of the drones sort of, and they go to static. That is the last video, and that is the last file on that day. and it finishes transferring. Boop. What are the two?
This is not the weirdest porn you've ever shown me.
Seriously? You're joking about that stuff now?
Let's go. If you've got it all, time to go.
Another explosion.
Let's see how much more I can get and then get out of here. But if that's what we need, then we can go.
You would assume that's what you need. You can keep getting more, but that appears to be what you need.
It's enough for me.
Do you guys all head back?
Yeah, head back to the survivors. Check in on the kid with the grenade.
The kid with the grenade has not come back yet, and you have not heard what you would assume to be a massive explosion.
I think Saeed would turn around and go, clearly he hasn't done his job, so we need to get another kid to go down.
I mean, do we need that job done now?
Don't know. Saeed doesn't know what's down there, so he's...
You do have the kid on comms.
Yeah. Check in on him. Wakey, wakey. Hand off, Snakey.
Wow. Yeah. So you call down to the kid. You get a whispered response. Yeah. I'm here. There's like a monster here. I don't know if I can. I don't know if I can do this.
Is it near the blast charges?
I don't know what a blast charge is. The angry guy just told me how to use a grenade.
Are there any boxes that say danger on them?
Anything with a red sticker.
Yeah, but I'd have to get out of the hole to get it.
I'll just throw the grenade at that and come back.
Okay, are you sure?
I've never been sure.
You've never been sure?
I've never been surer.
Okay.
Surer is more than sure.
Okay, great. Okay, thanks. Goodbye.
Good luck.
You guys wait for a few beats, and then you hear several explosions sort of happen, and you can see the tunnels or the hallways towards the core begin to shake, and you see some of the blast glass like start to cave in over there. Hopefully that kid got out. But do you guys wait around to find out, or do you all leg it back to the ship?
Do we have to go past them to get to our ship?
So I think you had mentioned you were already there with the survivors.
Yeah, we're back with the survivors.
Yeah.
All right.
So if you guys want to go back with the survivors, I'll wait for the kid.
Don't think the parents are going to leave without him.
I'll wait with them then to take the rest. Start taking them out.
All right.
Okay. Fan-freaking-tastic. Yeah, so Saeed and Agincourt, are you leading the survivors back there? Okay.
Following Saeed's lead.
You begin to lead the survivors back there. It's easy enough with the amount of distractions that are going around. However, corruption bar number 1, you have 15 people. Sorry, you have 18 people and 3 seats.
They can stand.
At most, your landing shuttle can hold 6 people. Including the 3 of you. Or it can hold the 3 of you and 5 children.
Saeed's path would be towards the end of the leg of the squid.
Mm-hmm.
And as we reach the security terminal, he would stop, turn to the people. The 5 kids can come with us. The rest of you hold up in here until the other reinforcements land. We can get the kids off, or 2 adults.
Roll manipulation. You see someone start to protest. And then you see the woman who was at the door, who clearly appears to be like in charge of this. Someone starts to protest, like no, you get us all off, and she just sort of like puts a hand on the shoulder, and just sort of looks at you with like, not like a cold, angry look, but like a cold, I get it look. And she says, "Yeah, we'll wait here." And she like opens the security room door and sort of ushers the adults into the room. And she like with like one like last glance at you, she just kind of like nods. Like, we'll wait here. Just come back as quick as possible.
We'll get them to safety. We'll look after them on. And he would look to Agincourt, the station, having no idea what the nearest station is.
Mm-hmm. And as you promise to keep those kids safe, we cut back to the tunnel where this kid is crawling through this thing and sort of pops up to see Maruf and his parents covered in soot and dust, dirt and grime, and like tear stains, hair a mess. He kind of like pops out. It's like, I think I did it. Did I?
Good job, kid. You get. I'll give you half of Agincourt's cut for that job.
Great. I don't know. I don't know what that means. Where's everybody else?
Time to go onto the ship.
Okay. And he like climbs out of the thing and like runs over to his parents. Again, Maruf, you can lead these 3 back easily with the amount of distractions that are going on. You get to the ship, which has already underwent its preparations to leave. You see that in the ship there are only 4 children. Saeed, you are on the... Saeed, are you still waiting at the... Because I forgot you guys parked way far away. Saeed, are you still waiting at the end of the leg of the squid?
I think once the parents were told to stay,
Yeah.
He would have head to the ship.
Okay.
With the kids.
So you make your way to... Maruf, would you just make your way straight to the ship?
Yeah.
Because you don't know anything, right? No one told you. Okay.
No.
So you make your way straight to the ship. That 100-meter dash with the family in tow. You get there. The ship is ready for takeoff. Again, you can see as you're approaching. You can see through the cockpit window that the only inhabitants are your 2 teammates and 4 children. Saeed, you make eye contact out of the window with Maruf. What do you guys do?
Saeed would shake his head and just point to the kids. Come over the comms. Come over the comms and say, we've left the rest in the security hut at the end of the corridor. We can't get them all in the ship.
I think Maruf will turn to the parents and the child. He'll look at the father and say, our job's not done, and send the mother and child onto the ship and head with the father back to the facility.
Okay. Saeed, the door opens and you see the mother and child on the ship. You see Maruf and the father are returning back. The child and mother have tear-stained faces as you help them load onto this landing shuttle as Agincourt finishes preparations to take off.
I'm going to pop over comms.
Mm-hmm.
Maruf, are you sure about this? There's a virus in that system, and see how the data cabinets are exploding. I think it's gone out of control. That place is going to lose power eventually.
You're muted.
Then you better get back quickly.
Oh.
No, you're good. So he says you're got to get back quickly. What's your...
Saeed would come over the comms again. What is your plan?
Survive. That's what I always do.
Apart from surviving.
Pretty good at it.
If anything tries to kill us, kill it first. Otherwise, do what we can to shore up until you get back.
Saeed would drop his head. You're not going to manage that on your own.
Just need to get back as quick as you can.
Agincourt can get the data back. Agincourt can fly the ship. I'm not needed on this ship.
What?
He can complete the mission, but I don't think that you're going to come back if you stay here on your own.
Well, I'll turn to the father and say, looks like another seat opened up. It's your lucky day.
Saeed would unclip and start climbing out of the ship.
He looks to you, Maruf, and he's tears. And he's, oh my god, thank you so much, thank you. And he runs back towards the ship as the door sort of opens. He sees you, Saeed. Again, he is a mess of tears, and he kind of grabs you and says, thank you so much, thank you. If there's anything you ever need. And he sort of, takes your spot in this.
Saeed, are you sure about this?
Saeed, yeah, he grabs the father by the chest and says, you look after every one of these kids.
Yeah, of course. Anything.
Until their parents arrive.
Yeah.
And he'll push them back in, and he'll come across to Agincourt. There's no way Maruf is going to sit there and fight off, 30 of those guys on his own with a bunch of civilians. At least with 2 of us, there's a possibility. Get the data up, get the kids to safety, and get someone back here.
Plus, I've seen you fly, and I think I'm safer down here.
I walk up to Saeed and I extend out a hand.
He takes it.
It's like that, clutching brotherly hands type deal.
Yeah.
It's like, you all are a bunch of jerks, but I can't leave you here, can I?
You're gonna have to.
No, I'll get someone to come back for you, is what I'm saying.
Okay.
Quickly,
Yep.
and someone who can fly.
Yes, preferably someone who can fly. I know that part.
And keep a copy of that data for yourself.
I already did, pulling out tablet.
So, we watch from a distance as Agincourt takes the pilot seat. The shuttle rockily lifts off and heads to destinations unknown, hopefully to rock hop its way back to Coriolis. As we see the small shuttle break atmosphere, the camera kind of rotates back on Maruf and Saeed, who share that knowing glance that there's a good chance that they might not be getting off this rock as they head back towards the facility. And with the use of that final corruption bar, because we had 2 of them, the 2 of you, Maruf and Saeed, dressed to the nines for combat and ready to face off against an unknown soldier, you see the last of the glass fragments and metal scaffolding of the central dome sort of explode and crumble to the ground. And even from your distance, you can see that there is just a pool of black mist coming out of the hole that you assume to be the mine. And while Saeed has no idea what that is, Maruf, you see the 2 bright red eyes that were there before, only you see the rest of it. There appears to be a 10-foot tall, if not possibly taller from where you are, 6-legged, black-maned, flowing in the wind beast, the monster that the kid spoke of, standing over the hole. The vault wasn't keeping something out. It was keeping something in. And that is where we end the episode of Kerberos. Da-da-da-da.
No!
What was that?
That was a giant fucking monster. That's what that was. Get wrecked, space monster. Yeah, so that was Kerberos, the companion episode to Ouroboros. Who this mystery company is, Why they are dealing with these crazy things, who the hell knows? But we'll find out. So let's go around, do our introductions, get the hell out of here, do our after show, and hear what you guys think about this show. If you guys want to support this channel and get your hands on the after show, the Patreon is the best way to do that. Link down below. You can also join us for the conversation, talk about this game and others in our Discord. Link down below. Let's go around. We'll start with Agincourt himself, Desert Fox. Who are you? Where can we find you on the internet, and what are you up to?
Well, you can't really find me much of anywhere. You can find me on Mike's Discord server, and I actually have a YouTube channel, but it's just kind of a thing I just kind of do random nonsense with.
There you go.
And on Mike's Discord server, I go by DE-173. So if you ever need content, you can just find me there. Other than that, I'm really kind of hard to get a handle. I don't really do social media, so.
Okay. Good shit. Snow, who are you? Where can we find you on the internet, and what are you up to?
So I'm Snowdogs. You can occasionally find me lurking in Mike's Discord. If you're looking for me on social media, search for Snowdogs and you'll find much more entertaining content than my social media feed. And that's about it.
Fantastic. Necro, who are you? Where can we find you on the internet, and what are you up to?
I am Chris, aka Necro. You can pretty much find me in Mike's Discord, where I don't shut up. Twitter, I'm on there, but I don't really post anything other than tweeting Mike's stuff to go, hey, go check out Mike. Don't stream yet. Back into it in maybe 3 weeks' time, but other than that, just a Discord.
Hell yeah. With that, this concludes our Patreon one-shots. We love you. Thank you for being here. Hope you guys had a good time. Let's get out of here. We're going to do our after show. This will be up on Patreon later today, if not tomorrow. We will see you all for more of these Patreon one-shots next month. So from all this to you guys, bye-bye.